know a scene in Rocky and Bullwinkle that's going to have a lot of people talking is when you parody your speech from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
How was that, doing that for you, and whose idea was that?
That was, I think, Dess's, as far as I know. He said, try this stuff. I'm writing something in. You'll see, blah, blah. And I read it, and I said, well, you know, okay, it's that. And I said, well, let me think about it. And I said, well, I might as well do it on this. It's as good a place to do it if I'm going to do it. So
Everybody else has done it before, so why not you?
I might as well do it, yeah.
Were you at all hesitant about doing a film based on a cartoon? They haven't all turned out well. And at what point did you know that this was going to be a quality project?
Well, I always knew that it would be, just because Jane, you know, was involved, wanted to, you know, was really the driving force behind it all. And it was her baby. You know, it was always going to be as qualitative as we could make it. We're going to not try as hard as we can to make it something special on all levels, and so that's what we came up with.
What was it like for you as an actor working with the cartoons, since you know a lot of this film's animated?
I didn't interact with the cartoons as much as everybody else did. I did very little, but it's not a big deal. It's not a difficult thing to do, especially this type of thing, because it's out there anyway. So it's not like you have to maintain a believable interaction with another actor who is just not there because they can't be there. So, you know, and you have to like act to another, say if it's an over-the-shoulder shot and you got, you know, you're there, and but you can't do it, you got sick or something, so you have to put another actor there with a shoulder and you got to act, and it's an emotional scene, or, you know, that would be a difficult thing to do. But this is all, you know, it's fun, and it's silly and stuff.
I mentioned that a lot of cartoons don't translate well to film, but what is it, do you think, about Jay Ward's work that not only has kept the characters alive so long, but makes for such a good film here?
I think it's got more sophistication and more clever, and the kids hopefully will like it, and the adults will like it for their own reasons, and the kids will like it for their reasons, and somewhere in the middle they'll meet.
Tell me about working on the accent.
Well, that was easy. I just took it off the cartoon. I mean, I extended everything from the cartoon, and I work with a very good voice coach named Tim Monick, and he would be watching and making sure, you know, that I'm staying on track. And it's fun, you know. It was not, you know, it was fun to do.
Yeah, did you mention that you had a hand in choosing the director for the film?
Yeah, I mean, Jane was really the one who said, well, you know, I'm comfortable with Des, and then I talked to me, and I met him, and I said, yeah, okay, let's. So we went into the studio, and we had to convince them to go ahead with him. And they were concerned, you know, there's a lot of money involved on this thing, so they were rightfully so concerned that it would be the right choice, and so we felt it was.
And what is it about him made him the right choice? What was it about him that made him, you know, qualified for this movie? It's kind of complex in tone.
Well, you never really know with people. You know, you take a chance by the previous work and stuff like that, what they tell you. And even if they've done other things that you've seen that might show something, but it doesn't show this particular subject. And so there's always a risk involved, and then you just have to, you know, trust your instincts and go with it.
Do you remember your first contact with Rocky and Bullwinkle, your first memories of the characters?
Well, I used to stay at the Chateau Marmont on Sunset Boulevard, and right across the street is a big Rocky and Bullwinkle store. So, but I was aware of Rocky and Bullwinkle, of course, before that. But that was always something that would be a reminder. So.
It's great. I think I live right around the corner.
You do,
There's
yeah.
a real big moose.
Yeah, it's right on Sunset. Yeah.
It's great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Nice to talk to you again. Thanks for doing it. Great. Well, thank you very much for talking to us.
Oh, yeah.
If I could, they wanted me to start by asking some questions about Meet the Parents, and
Uh-huh.
also relate to Rocky and Bullwinkle. In Meet the Parents, your role is kind of a takeoff of some of the dramatic roles you've played with a comedic bent. Do you look for comedic roles like that, and what do you enjoy about them?
Well, I don't look for them. I mean, whatever comes along. I think since Analyze This, I've gotten, I think, more comedy related scripts or whatever you want to call it. It seems. I mean, it depends on what it is. Meet the Parents, we kind of like, it had been brought to us by, I forget who, and then we started working on it, and Jane Rosenthal was, instrumental, of course, in getting all that done. Then we got Jay Roach involved and and worked on the script and brought in another writer, and it slowly evolved into what it is now, which is kind of the way we did Analyze This, too. So you come up with a concept, an idea, and then you get the actors and the people. They got me, Ben Stiller, start pulling it together, and that's how it evolved.
As an actor, what was the key to finding your character? I believe it's Jack Burns.
Yeah.
Was he based on somebody real?
No, he wasn't based on real, but we had some people who know that stuff well, and they were like technical consultants, and so certain things, ways of saying things, stuff like that. So.
You mentioned Analyze This, which is a film I think everybody loved. Especially seeing you in a comedic role like that. Do you enjoy doing the comedic roles more than the dramatic?
Well, the comedy, as long as it's got like a kind of a real base to it, I enjoy doing. I had a good time doing Analyze This, and working with Billy Crystal. That was easy. We kind of fit. We're not timing wise. We're both like New Yorkers or something. Some people you can, which can be funny too, where you can interact with people who have just their timing has nothing to do with your rhythm. You're like two musicians, and whereas with Billy, we kind of understood how to go back and forth.
Now, let me ask you about Rockin' Bullwinkle now. It's a role that people wouldn't normally expect you to choose. They wouldn't associate with you. What made you choose it?
I did it because Jane Rosenthal, who'd been involved with getting this done for about, I'd say, give or take a year or two, about 8 years ago, and she had finally asked me if I'd want to do, would want to play Fearless Leader, and I said, let me see, blah blah. And I was looking at the tapes again and looking at Fearless Leader, and I said, let me try it. I'll be have some fun with it, and that's how it started.
So what does it take to find a role like that? Do you play it like a cartoon, or do you delve more into it?
Well, I took off the cartoon and I just said, let's, the voice and even the movements, some of the movements, and just extended it into live action, being me and us and Jason and Renee, and then trying to retain some of the cartoonish stuff, like the ears out, the nose longer and the chin longer, and we would do tests to see how far we could go with that without looking ridiculous, and sort of make it arch, but not too over the top.
As a producer, how involved were you in getting this project made, and why did you believe that this cartoon would translate into a film?
Well, I believe Jane Rosenthal really, again, was the one who was really behind it and was a big fan of Rockin' Bullwinkle, and she wanted to do it, and it was good for Tribeca to do it, because I'm always getting things, we're getting things that always pertain to stuff that they think I'm going to want to do. In fact, I want to do other things, not like things that, like I said, that I'm sort of known for. So it was a good opportunity to do that, and Jane worked hard, and I was always supporting her, and then whenever I was needed for whatever reason, and I would be there, and we had to, Des Mackinac we wanted to go with, and we had to go to the studio and back him, and explain our reasons why we wanted him, and so on, because it was a big investment for them, and a big commitment.
And lastly, Universal has a children's literacy program, and we're asking people what the first book as a child you remembered having an impact on you.
Dick and Jane. See Spot run. So
those were
the
first ones.
My generation.
Yeah, I think mine too. Thank you very much. Nice to talk to you.